Charlie had more courage than any of the rest of us do on our best day, like 10 times the courage any of us have. So I think he's given us an example to follow in that. And ultimately too, I think a lot of people were surprised to see how Jesus first he was ultimately and primarily an evangelist. And it's just exciting to see a lot of people wake up to that. And the second part of my reflection here is that, we all got a front row seat to the end game of all the, for lack of a better word, wokeness that we've all been fighting against for the past few years. I've seen well-meaning people on social media saying things like, hey, we just need to learn to talk to each other. We just need to all come to the same table, put our differences aside. But as well-meaning as that is, that's actually really not the problem in our culture right now. I think the biggest problem is that half our country has been totally indoctrinated by the Marxist idea of oppressed versus oppressor. And what they don't realize is the solution to that ideology is not reconciliation. It's not unity. It's not coming to the table to talk. It's actually a theory of conflict. And according to that ideology, the only resolution is revolution. It's violence. And I think that is ultimately what we're seeing. This is good versus evil. It's tyranny versus freedom. And because of the cowardice of a lot of our Christian leaders, sadly, people have bought into this in the name of some sort of misguided empathy. And ultimately what it brings about is violence. And here's an example I saw this week from a well-meaning Christian, but basically saying that when our words overstep, when we, insist on our right to say our opinion, we're actually doing violence. And we've been convinced as a culture that words are violence. But think about the end result of that. If words are violence, then violence becomes a justifiable response to words. And so even well-meaning posts like that are perpetuating this oppressed versus oppressor narrative. And it's really a product of the dripping poison of that worldview. And I think that's what we're seeing. This is a clash of good versus evil. And Natasha, I'd love your thoughts on this. I don't know if you saw Elon Musk was asked, why was Charlie killed? And he put it so succinctly. And it was kind of sad to me that Elon Musk was able, a non-believer was able to recognize the reality even better than a lot of pastors and a lot of Christians. He said, Charlie was killed for showing people the light and he was killed by the dark. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that. And it's interesting because, it makes you wonder, well, what is Elon actually thinking about in terms of the light and the darkness, right? Because he's not a Christian.
Right.
And so he's seeing that there is light and there is darkness, but we have to define what that light is so that we can actually draw people